Joining me here on my YouTube channel. As I said, I got hold of this exciting Nikita Dragun Morphe palette at Marshall's, and it looks so exciting. I'm especially excited about these kind of iridescent swirly colors. I thought we might try the tissue technique to try to get them as they look in the palette onto our lids, which we primed with this NYX eyeshadow base in sort of a white pale color. We're gonna start with eyes for a change. Did you know that when you act on set in Hollywood, there are only certain colors that you're allowed to wear if you're a principal? One of them is black, one of them is white, and the other one is red. And if you're not a principal or that's not your scene, unless there's something in the story specifically that requires you to wear a red dress or a white tux, you should not be wearing those colors. So I thought that was an interesting bit of lore. But we're primed, and I thought we might go into some of the neutrals in the upper left corner, perhaps this color Nicholas, not only to see what it looks like, but also to see if it'll be a nice sort of powder over the eyeshadow base. So getting that onto our brush and opening up our trusty mirror from Daiso, right? And let's see if we can work that across the lid as like a base color. I've been excited about this palette for weeks. I've never actually had my hands on it before, and I had not been able to purchase it until now. I think it's about a year old, and thank goodness for stores like Marshall's for making things accessible to those of us who, we're a little bit shy about spending money on first release makeup. We're really into makeup for some other reason other than, being a beauty guru. I myself do acting work on set where I can't always wear the most exciting or interesting makeup looks. You have to be in law enforcement, or you're playing a mom, or something a little bit more middle of the road, and you don't get to play in the Nikita Dragun type palette. You have to be more more kind of middle of the road or corny with your makeup looks. So just dragging that under the eye to create, just a very neutral base. So neutral that I can't even see color payoff on my skin. But, as I was saying to the folks on Rizzle, I was hopeful that given Nikita's actual complexion, not her black fishing or other kind of ethnic fishing complexion, that this might be a good palette for me, because I am very kind of yellow orange, and I feel like she being Asian and Latina and heritage, maybe these colors will work for me. So brush number one is a Morphe Jeffree Star brush. Again, a lot of people in the beauty world have a lot of controversies, and I figured we'd use a precise brush to pat some color into the outside V of our eye. And what shall it be? If we're gonna go for one of these exciting swirly purples, we should at least establish our outer corner, and we can use this color Artificial right here, which is kind of like this orangey terracotta shade, just to do something exciting. Because Nikita is certainly bringing the excitement on this season of Hype House on Netflix, and our friends at Sephora have taught us that with a hooded eye like my own, you're not really wanting to swirl and sweep and make circles. You're really wanting more to stamp color into place and build that crease slightly above the natural crease, just so that when your eye is closed, it will show, and also kind of respecting an upward gesture to your eye makeup, right? So you want to establish the shape and establish the color, but on our style of lid, a more kind of, I guess, Asiatic hooded style lid. It's not exclusive to people of part Asian or part Native American or, you know, that kind of descent, but it is certainly a shape that is not, you know, it's not a lot of lid space. It's not an unhooded crease, you know, and I feel like there's a lot of makeup tutorials that haven't been discussing, you know, this kind of variation in shape that can make the way you build your makeup a little bit different. Not that it's better or worse, but it just normal average tutorials for people with a different eye shape may not work for this eye shape, as well as, you know, respecting the shape of your own lid and the structure that you're trying to, the structure and drama that you're trying to build with eyeshadow. I'm really actually loving this color. It's reading very vibrant and orange on my eyeshadow base coated lids, and it's giving us some really beautiful color payoff. Now I'm wondering if we should use a fluffy brush just to blur out these edges, or just leave it as sort of strong and intact. I feel like we've done something interesting and dramatic, and we've left our brow bone bare, and it looks exciting. Is this the point at which we should put a little of this color under our eyes? Maybe, right? Just to give it a little unity without adding more product. Just drag that under the eye. You know, I don't know if we're trying to suggest or fool anyone into thinking that our eyes are shadowed with this color naturally, but it certainly does look vibrant and very beautiful. If we stopped here, I think we would have done an arresting, exciting look. So from here, if this orange is our base, and we certainly have a lot of really thrilling options here. This Metamorphosis color, this kind of purple and turquoise swirl is speaking to me. This purple, this iridescent, I don't think you can sort of read it on camera. There you go. Just so exciting. But the challenge is not to muddy this color called Metamorphosis together. And I thought we might try that technique where, like during the summer, during Pride Month, we had seen people crumple just regular toilet tissue or Kleenex tissue. This is from Kirkland and our friends at Costco. Just crumple it, you know, get those kind of edges and shapes together, and then it's on here. Not as hard as we'd like, but stamp that onto the lid. Try not to move it around too much, but really stamp that on. It's a little something. It's very soft. We've actually put a little dent in it by doing this, but let's try the other side. Closing that eye and just rolling and stamping that on. It's a little something. It's not really delivering what I thought it might give, but you know, we're trying to get that pattern transferred onto our eye. I don't know if any of you have ever, you know, worked with, in the old days, you used to take silly putty and stamp it onto colored comics on the Sunday, in the Sunday paper, and then you could transfer the color from the funnies onto the silly putty, and I think you could transfer it from there onto paper. That's what we're attempting to do, with not a lot of success, but you know, we're trying it. Trying to get that mottled appearance of purple and blue. It's paying off more on our tissue than it is on our eye, but you know, this is the best we could do. You know, bringing that onto the bridge of our nose, just to extend the drama. You know, this is starting to look like more of a cosplay look, but I don't hate it. It's not, you know, ideal, but let's see what we can do from here. It feels like the color could use some balancing with one of these other brights, and certainly this Nikita pink is screaming at me. So, you know, thinking about a different brush. Here is a pencil brush from Morphe, the M321. You know, they do say for hooded eye, you want to do shimmer in the inner 2/3. Maybe this pencil brush can make something more pointed and dramatic in our crease. Let's see. We're just, you know, we're going to play with these colors and play with the saturation and see what we can do to enhance and create interest, right? Deepening that terracotta with this hot pink. Certainly Nikita loves all the bright girly colors, and those colors love her. And this palette is, you know, you're definitely not going to get this palette and think, oh, same old, because it's definitely not the same old, you know. But if we can add this pink and establish it along the lash line and more precisely in the crease, and then extend that also onto the lower lash line, you know, kind of sticking to the waterline. You know, this would be an interesting look for going out at night. You know, we're just trying to grow our lashes back after having artificial lash extensions on for close to a month for a music video. You know, and it was exciting. It looked really interesting, but there was a lot of volume and weight on our natural lashes that did not do our natural lashes any favors. We lost lashes when those lashes came off. And it, you know, it makes me think, should I have taken them off sooner and really tried to like steam them and get them removed faster? Or was it just fine to try to let them live and kind of be in a more, you know, natural place? Is that, what's the life cycle with lash extensions? What are you supposed to do? I don't know. In any case, I don't hate this. I think it's very dramatic. We have that sort of cloud effect in the inner 2/3. I don't know if it's going to do to add a stronger kind of shimmer on top of this inner corner blue. But, you know, well, let's try it. Let's get into some kind of packing brush. You know, I have done some, believe it or not, work to try to organize my brushes so that I could make quicker decisions with them. And, you know, I've tried to be more responsible about cleaning them and, you know, just for the new year and for augmenting looks and turning looks on a dime. But again, here is our exciting two-way mirror from Daiso, and we have this Eco Tools packing brush, which is sort of small, right? And let's get into this color. We could do Cyborg, which is a pink, or we could do a silver. So because we've got blue in that inner corner, let's try Cyborg. We also have Nick, which is a white, but let's not, we're gonna, you know, we're obviously gonna spend days. Look at that on this brush. Let's see, we can stamp it in our inner lid. That is some exciting payoff. Look at that. Like a disco ball, right? And just keeping it on the lid, almost suggesting a cut crease, but not really a cut crease. Other side. You know, that is a nice, wet, sticky shimmer that really does cling to the brush, and it stamps nicely onto the lid. You know, that you don't have to waste time. You don't have to spray your brush with any kind of wetness or adhesive. We'll just take that into the inner corner. You know, if you were at a bachelorette party in outer space, like I was on an episode of Orville, if you were, you know, going out to a traditional club or trying to turn heads at a basketball game, this palette definitely will be serving you a lot of options that you will not be unhappy with. So, you know, I think I've done some damage to this Metamorphosis color, but I'm not mad. I'm gonna put this plastic protective sheet back over these shadows, and I definitely want to experiment with that again. But let's try to go in with some kind of, I don't know. Should we go for a foundation? Should we go for a powder foundation? Should we do a liner? I do have these Stay Matte but Not Flat powder foundations from NYX. There's one that is soft beige and there's one that's natural. So maybe we can get into soft beige. Theoretically, that one would be darker, although it doesn't really look like it. You know, we could try doing a liner. How about that? We certainly have lots of liner options. We have the NYX, that's a brow pencil. We have the brow tint pen. I'm not someone who really suffers with a lack of eyebrow. But yeah, here's Epic Ink Liner from NYX. I'm just grabbing our same makeup mirror. All right, let's see if we can do a respectful eyeliner look, right? A hooded eye, you want to look directly into your mirror and draw a line beyond your crease, right? Look into your mirror, draw that line in toward your eye, and then on top of your lid. And connect. You may not even want to extend it crazy far, but you want to just sort of enhance and extend the eye. And then inner corner. And the thin little line on top. We lost some lashes to that lash extension. The pictures were fire. If you look at my Instagram, you'll be duly impressed. But it did cost me natural lashes. How's that? I'm not unhappy. If you added a false lash, then that might look even more dramatic, but I think it does make the gesture of making your eyes look longer and bigger. So, other side, extending, looking directly into your mirror, drawing a line into your eye, using the tip to join it to your upper and lower lashes, right? And inner corner. Really focusing on that tip. You know, not every liner pen is built the same. The best ones give you a very precise, sharp point and allow you to, you know, make a gesture that is significant and precise, you know, and won't destroy your shadow or disturb things that you've already laid down. So that looks exciting to me. You know, I don't think we need to do a heavy foundation, but I am feeling like we need to balance the strength of this eye with some cheek color. Let's get an efficient amount of powder. What is this? Powder foundation on. And I think this does come with its own brush. You can tell I haven't used it. It may come with a brush or a sponge. It comes with a sponge, but I'm not on the go, so I don't know if I want to mess with that. But let's try a, should we do a fluffy brush? Something dense. This is a Japonesque powder brush. Let's see if we can get into this with that and just stamp it on under the eye to take care of any fallout or shine. you know, we want to look made up, but not anything crazy. It's not like we're going to be on camera or, you know, out dancing up a storm or anything, but we just want to create some visual unity so we can add our blush and then get on with life. But no, I appreciate you spending time with me as I experiment with my makeup, because, you know, there's a lot of work out there that requires you to do your own makeup, right? If you're a member of SAG-AFTRA, especially in these COVID times, you can't always expect or rely on other people to do your makeup with drama or, you know, what you would call, you know, the effect that you would want it to make, right? If you were matching your dress or wanting to play a certain kind of character, do we need to contour? I'm not sure. We definitely need a blush and a lip color. Do we need mascara or lashes? I don't know. I don't think so. I'm not really mad at this eye look. I think that because I am yellow orange, this blue purple stamp and this silver kind of inner lid and this kind of terracotta color with pink kind of deepening the outer V is kind of captivating, right? In a different moment, you could extend the shadow onto your temple. You know, I do see a lot of people putting their blush on their cheek and then taking it all across their temple, and it always looks so curious to me because I feel like just here is more of an eyeshadow place, right? You can see where your contour and your blush should live, but is this an area where you want to put blush? I see sometimes in fashion shows, people take blush in a C all around the eye, and that looks dramatic, but I don't know if that's at the Creme Shop. Also do a really great job with building blush options for people with yellow, orange complexions. And I have a lot of respect for the fact that, you know, they're creating shadows that really do work for the Asian market, for, you know, people who may be of South Asian Indian, American Indian descent. Not every makeup company respects, you know, this particular skin tone, right? You can end up with, you know, foundations from Estee Lauder that might be a little bit too cool for your complexion. You can end up with some, you know, products that are built to rescue said products from being an utter disaster. So this is the Cheek Mate Queen, right? And I feel like maybe this is very peach in the middle, but here's a Zoeva Sweet Glamour palette. Maybe this is too plum. I would want something that's a little bit more red. And since we've laid down powder product, I don't really want to get into any cream products from our friends at e.l.f. So maybe we'll have to rock with the Creme Shop. Let's try this brighter peach color first. And if it's not saturated enough, we're going to hit the darker, more plum color. So just swirling our brush in it, right? We've got this angled brush. Ooh, that's a came off really strong, but our eye makeup is quite strong, right? So on the apples of the cheek, right? You don't want to bring it in too far. You see people kind of stamping their blush on too far in to the eye, right? You kind of want to definitely not go past the center of your eye, but you want to use, I guess, what they'd call the draping technique, right? Your cheekbone, but using blush to give structure to the face, right? Almost like a Duran Duran album cover of old, right? Getting it into the temple area.